Sometimes walking around Tokyo, you might see some tourists with a beer can enjoying the scenery. In the near future, that might be a big dame desu because laws might be changing in Tokyo. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Crack That Can Open It's Okay to Drink Outside episode.
Yeah.
We are the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
Oh, and we want to welcome you, say hello, thank you for joining, and good on you for improving your English listening skills by tuning into our channel, listening to our episodes where we speak full native American and Canadian English to improve your listening and possibly speaking skills. But it all starts at listening, so that's the thing you got to focus on. Today, everyone, we're going to be talking about how you can drink in public in Japan and how that might be changing soon. So, the question for everyone, and for Adam, you too. Have you ever drank an alcoholic beverage outside in Japan?
Yes. Plain and simple.
Yes. Me as well. I will say, yes, I have. The time that I have done that, I remember being at like a festival in Japan. You know, enjoying the festival, the music, the games, the sights, everyone, you know, just enjoying. And I want to enjoy too. So I would find a beer and drink it and enjoy it while walking around on the streets. How about you, Adam?
Multiple times, not just for festival occasions, but hanamis, barbecues. Any time where friends get together and are hanging out outside at nighttime, mostly in the evenings, there's usually beer or some kind of drink involved. We make sure something like that.
Okay. Yeah. And I think this is something that is really special to Japan because I believe in most countries outside of Japan, it is illegal to have an open beverage, an open a container and walk out in public and drink that alcoholic beverage. In America, you might see somebody do it. You might see somebody with a paper bag and there's a bottle or something inside the paper bag and they're taking a sip out of that paper bag. That's because they're trying to hide the fact that they're drinking alcohol because you will get arrested if you drink alcohol on the streets, in public, walking around in the US. I'm guessing the same in Canada.
Exactly. It's 100% the same. And I've seen it happen where the police saw the paper bag. It was during New Year's and the person had it. And the police was like, "What's in the bag?" And he said,
"It's a dead giveaway. You have a paper bag."
Well, I mean, like, I think the reason for the paper bag is because if the police see the alcohol, then they have to do something. But if they see the paper bag, then it's like there's another step. It's like, oh, you're asking me something, but you can't see it. It's not in plain sight, officer. I don't have to empty this bag, officer.
Right.
Most people do it anyway. So the guy was holding the paper bag. Officer asked him what's in the paper bag, and he said, "Oh, it's New Year's, officer. I'm sorry." And the officer was like, "Okay, empty it out. Just empty it out."
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you didn't get arrested.
Didn't get arrested.
Nothing serious.
Yeah.
But the officer was right on the spot, like, just empty it so you don't have it anymore.
Exactly.
Now going to Japan, or I should say coming to Japan, looking at all the travelers coming from overseas and stuff, I know specifically friends that I have from the US who come, once they learn the fact that it's okay to drink beer on the streets. They're like, really? Like, I can? And some people are like, even like, kind of like scared. They're like, oh man, police. Like, no, you can totally walk around with an open alcoholic beverage. If it's beer, if it's whiskey, if it's a chuhai, if it's a strong, like, you can go out and enjoy that while you're walking around. And I see many travelers who are, you know, enjoying that lack of law or that rule that is not there. So
and
it is something that is
easy to do as well. The konbinis are just
yes,
supply and demand.
Yes. I mean, that's another big thing, right?
Right?
In North America, in the US, like there are certain times
Right.
where the alcohol will be closed. You cannot
Right.
buy after 8 p.m. or something, or all Sundays you cannot buy
Right.
alcohol. All
Yeah.
right. This
Yeah.
all everyone, this comes from the religious background
Right.
that the government has in the US and those laws that were put in place.
Mhm.
So in Japan, nope. 24/7,
Yeah.
itsudemo dozo. Like you can get beer at any time,
Yeah.
anywhere. So yeah, you just walk into a convenience, grab a beer, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go check out Asakusa while I enjoy this Japanese beer. And it's
Yeah.
like, as a traveler, if you enjoy beer or getting a little tipsy, getting a little
Yeah.
having a little extra fun in your travels, why not grab that beer? And it is something that might be changing
Mhm.
in Tokyo's Shibuya ward.
Yeah.
There's a new article that I found on Sora News 24 talking about this specific thing. And I'm wondering, everyone, because we're going to read the article together, wondering if this is a problem because of the Japanese Halloween events that have been
Mm.
happening, or is it a connection with the travelers who are coming to Japan, maybe drinking a little too much while
Yeah.
on the streets of Shibuya?
I'm
So
gonna
let's.
go out on a limb and say it's a mixture of both. My prediction is that
Mm,
both.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it might be a prediction of both.
Yeah.
Just because before, it's like the Halloween times have been increasingly more and more troubles, more problems have
Yeah.
been coming from it. And in the past year or two, they would just make those few days, so like that weekend, be like, there's no alcohol beverages allowed to be open
Right.
on the streets in Shibuya in this certain area or something. So they had this like kind of lockdown, or they stopped the selling of
Mm.
alcohol
Hmm.
in all stores. I'm like, that must have been like a lot of work
Yeah.
to go into that to make that happen.
Right.
And maybe it works. So maybe they're like, hey, why don't we just do it forever in this
24/7.
area to stop any kind of troubles that might be happening,
Hmm.
not only through Halloween, but throughout the year.
Yeah.
Again, this is something that might be sad. And another thing that you got to be careful of if you're traveling to Japan, because maybe you came, 2 years ago and you're like, oh, we could drink beer
Yeah,
anywhere.
let's
And
go.
now in this new law, when you're in Shibuya, you might not be able to do it. Okay, so let's check out this article.
All right.
All right. Wards crack down on the street boozing in anonymous votes.
Hmm.
There isn't exactly a shortage of places to drink in Shibuya, and one of Tokyo's biggest entertainment and nightlife districts. Pretty much every block in the neighborhood has at least one pub, bar, or club, and definitely a konbini.
Oh yeah.
However, where there are plenty of places you can step inside for a drink, drinking on the street isn't going to be an option anymore, as a ban on public consumption of alcohol has been passed by the Shibuya Ward Assembly. So it's done, everyone. As of now, you cannot drink on the streets of Shibuya. Let's
Wow.
continue. The resolution comes after a statement earlier this month, this month being June, in the month of June,
Oh wow. Okay.
that the assembly was considering expanding a smaller scale public drinking ban that was created back in 2019. That initial ban came in response to the steadily increased rowdiness of drunken crowds gathering for de facto street parties in Shibuya on and around, guess what? Halloween
Halloween. This Halloween.
night.
This
This
Halloween.
is Halloween. Drinkoween,
This is
drinkoween. Yeah.
Drinkoween.
With violence, vandalism,
Oh wow.
littering,
Wow.
and other crimes spiking during the unregulated times. At first, the public drinking ban was only in place for the Halloween season, but the Shibuya Ward Assembly later added New Year's Eve to the no booze on the streets ordinance. Oh, that's right. I remember, because do you know how like the new like Tokyo ball drop, instead of Times Square ball drop, there's one that Shibuya is now doing?
At Tokyo Tower?
No, in Shibuya.
Oh really? No, I never. Yeah,
Scramble.
I didn't know.
Scramble. They're closing. And I remember last year it was some crazy like Coca-Cola campaign where they were giving
Oh,
out
okay. I think I just
this.
remember like seeing a picture of Coca-Cola
Yeah.
Banners, advertisements all over Shibuya Scramble area.
Yes.
Was that
That's
same
what
thing?
It was for.
Oh.
And it's like, and we can't do a kanpai with our alcoholic beverages, which looking into like Japanese culture and history, like there's a lot of like sake that happens and like, in different types of ceremonies, as well as like not drinking parties, but like business B2B.
Yeah.
Getting to know your doryo and your other coworkers by going out for some no communication, But recently, Shibuya had a huge crackdown, and everyone voted that year-round drinking will not be okay in Shibuya.
Okay.
The enforcement area will also be expanded and will encompass the area of Shibuya Station and the Shibuya Scramble intersection, the center Gai shopping street, and the areas around the Shibuya Ward office, Miyashita Park, and Maruyamacho night club cluster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Party in
So there you go. Pretty much all of you got to go over to Harajuku.
Yeah.
You got to go over to Ebisu or somewhere else.
Right.
Because in Shibuya, it's not a good place to be drinking out on the streets. You're not allowed to anymore.
Yeah.
As of now, no one will be in real trouble. There will be no penalty for someone who drinks.
Yeah.
But just like you were mentioning before, Adam, that you've seen personally, they will be made to get rid of that alcoholic beverage. So if the police sees it, they're going to say, hey, give that to me, empty it out, and that's it. The article continues, while this might seem to make the rule toothless and pointless, it is not uncommon for new laws in Japan to initially have no set penalties in hope that the extent of the rule in and of itself will be enough to convince people to comply.
Okay.
So just putting the rule down without having any penalties or things. It's like, if you do this, you're going to go to jail. If you do this, you're going to have to pay this much money. So there's no penalty at all. And they're saying that, hey, hopefully, which we've seen in the past, when the government was like, "Onegaishimasu, please wear a mask, everyone." Everybody did so.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a little different, but hopefully they're going to expect everyone to comply and do as the rule says and not drink outside in public anymore. And the last paragraph. Instead, public drinking will be prohibited daily between 6 p.m. and 5 a.m.
Okay. All right.
However, this is most likely an attempt to focus police patrol enforcement efforts on the times when public drinking related problems have been most likely to occur.
Yeah.
And part 3 is the ban officially goes into effect October 1st.
Oh.
So hey, summer, summer's here. We're all good for the summer season to be drinking in Shibuya, everyone. I'm not telling you to go and drink. Please be respectful of people and the things around you when you are enjoying your alcoholic beverages, because this is something that can turn into such a big negative outcome for Japan culture.
Yeah.
As we talked about before, we learned about the ban of certain tourists in certain areas, Now we can't see Fuji in that one area with the konbini and the food. No, it's completely blocked now. Nobody can enjoy it because of a few bad apples who were not listening to, please don't do that.
Right.
Please don't do this. Right. Yeah. And if this turns into like a nationwide thing, right now it's just Shibuya who's saying no more drinking on the streets. But if it turns to the whole thing, like that would be so sad, because think about everyone, how happy me and Adam were talking about the times we were drinking on the streets in Japan,
with our friends,
enjoying with friends and the festivities. And if that was taken away now, then it would be a big change in Japan.
A big loss, I think. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this topic. Have you drank on the streets? When did you? And what do you think if this was a rule to be banned, to be put across all of Japan?
Yeah, but that's it. We'll see you on the next
step.